Brad, what's been the reaction to the weekend and Glasgow?
Well, I think it was a much improved display from the previous week. So there was a definite step up in performance. So we're pleased with that. We ruled a couple of missed opportunities, and we gave them a couple of soft scores, which took the scoreline away from us, unfortunately. But in terms of effort, application, and attitude, it was spot on. So we need to just tidy up those aspects of the game. Especially with a team that's coming across this Saturday.
Yeah, they're one of the sides that sort of hit the ground running so far this season. What are your thoughts on Munster building from where they played the final last year?
They're a quality side, you know. They've got depth in their squad. They're physical in the pack, and you pretty much know what's going to come your way, and they're going to be there or thereabouts for the championship this season. So it's going to be another big challenge, you know. But I think as long as we can build on our performance and improve on our performance, improve those little errors that came into our game, especially in the second 40, I think we should be there or thereabouts. And we're hoping for a bumper crowd down there, and our supporters to really get behind the team.
Did you learn the lessons of what happened in the semi-final in Limerick last year, or did you just draw a line into that game? Are you a different place?
Yeah. Do you know the lessons learnt from that game? I think I'm trying to reflect back on that game. You know, for 40 minutes that game was again in the balance, and if memory serves me correct, they scored a fantastic try in about the 60th minute, and we couldn't really get any pressure on the scoreboard that could have tightened up the match, and then they took it away in the 79th minute. So. I think there's every time we've played Munster, there's been learnings that we've taken from it. You know, I think the game at the Liberty last season, we got off to a blistering start, but we know they're a side that's not going to go away, and they came back at us, and it was a really a closely fought match. So I think this is going to be nip and tuck again, and you know, we're going to look forward to meeting that challenge head on.
Have you got any boys coming back this weekend?
We've got some possible guys to come back. You know, there's possibilities with Dan Lydiot, which is positive news. We'll see he can come back into the selection. Webby might be an option. We'll just see how he pulls up with the training load. So, but apart from that, I think that's about it really.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's been a lengthy layoff for Dan. How much of a boost is to have a player of his quality coming back?
Just having him out, you know, taking part in the majority of the training sessions is great to have that quality on the other side of the ball when you're having your match day 15 train. Just that, and you know, as Rassi quite rightly pointed out, you know, to compete in the season, but more importantly to be competing for top honours at the end of the season, you need 2 to 3 quality players in every position, and to have, you know, the likes of Lids coming back to full fitness is a real quality acquisition for us, because he's been away for such a long time.
For a defensive coach, obviously with his qualities, well-known qualities in defence, how much of a boost would be having someone like him?
Well, that's it would be again another asset that we can implement into the back row, and you know, we've had Guy Mercer join us from Bath, so our stocks are slowly building up there, and if we can keep everyone you know, healthy, we can then really drive on our training and really have competition for places. But Dan definitely brings that physical component of the game. He's a big lump, and he's not shy in putting himself about, so he'll be a welcome acquisition, that's for certain.
I imagine he's desperate to get out there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, he's looking forward to hopefully getting back in the mix if selected, and hopefully, you know, play his part in which will be hopefully an improved and winning display on Saturday.
Brad, I haven't spoken to anyone since Dan began. I mean, what's your reaction to the news? Must be obviously a big blow.
I think, you know, quality players who come to the end of their contracts are always, with the market forces that are out there at the moment, are always going to, their agents are going to put them about. I think for Dan himself, he's given fantastic service to the Ospreys, and over the season, and I can see exactly why he would want to at his stage want to start experiencing other competitions, other clubs, and have that part of an experience as a rugby player. So, but obviously for the Ospreys, you know, he's a quality player that he's going to be sorely missed. But we know that he's going to give all 100% for the rest of the season.
With Dan, Dan Bigger, it's a Dan, isn't it?
Dan Evans.
When is he likely to come back? Dan Bigger?
I'm not sure really. You know, I think you know, within the next couple of weeks, I imagine. You know, he's been taking part in training this week, so I think you know, we'll have a chat as a coaching group and look at when he can start implementing himself back into the first 15. So hopefully not too long.
I suppose the same with Britain as well.
Yeah, the same with the skipper and Webby and those guys who are on the Lions tour. You know, Tips has come back and probably come back a week earlier than we pretty much anticipated, and it's all about integrating those guys back into the team when we need it, and you know, they're a welcome addition.
Yeah, is it a tough balance in that? Perhaps obviously there's pressure to get results, and you know, there's obviously player welfare and everything else to take into consideration.
Yeah, I don't think it's so much difficult. I think you have to the first most important thing is the players' welfare. You know, this is a long season, and things aren't going to be won or lost in September and October. So, but you know, it's about us just finding the right time, and especially with the dual contracted players, there's only a certain amount of games they can play. So as a coaching group, and Steve's all over it, you know, just finding the fixtures that fit for those guys so we can utilise them and maximise their abilities.
Right, can I just ask you, you've been with the Ospreys obviously a while now. In that time, the Pro 12 has become the Pro 14. I just wondered what your thoughts were on the league compared to the Aviva. Obviously you've got experience of that, you know, the quality of play, you know. How does it compare and contrast?
I think if I compared both tournaments, I personally really enjoy the variety of the Pro 14. I think the South African sides coming in, even though they've had a rough start so far, I think they're only going to get better and stronger, and I think they're going to be a really tough nut to crack at home, in particular. I think the challenge of going to Italy and to Ireland and to Scotland, now South Africa, I think it throws up different styles of game, and they've all, you know, different challenges with the travel. I think with the Premiership, I think probably from 1 to 12 across there, it's a more even playing field, where it's not so much of a shock, I suppose, if the 12th place side beats the top place side, especially when they're at home. So it's probably a tad more attritional, but I think the Pro 14's a brilliant vehicle. I think it's going to only go from strength to strength, and from a coach's point of view, I find it really exciting.
Do you think it's getting a bit more like that?
Yeah, 100%.
That you mentioned 12 being first or whatever. Do you think it's getting the margins are squeezed?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the proof of that is when you look at the results in the Champions Cup and Challenge Cup. You know, I think when everyone's got their healthy people on board, I think you know, the likes of Scarlets this year, us, I think we can be more than a match for anyone. I think the only I suppose is once you get past the top 25, 26 players, possibly the depth that the Aviva Premiership can, you know, the salary cap, the budgets, the squad depth, I think is probably far greater. And you know, Rassi said only this week, you know, you need 3 top players in each position if you want to compete for top honours at the end of the season. And you know, he's probably not far off, but you know, the budgets that we're working with compared to arguably even the top 4 in our competition is miles apart, and that's a real challenge that we've got to keep keep trying to bridge. But that's the challenge of coaching.
Sorry, I was just going to last one from me. You've got the South African trip coming up relatively soon. You know, as preparation start, that obviously is a new experience for everyone, isn't it?
Yeah, no. All the logistical stuff is being done, and the guys are well down the road in that. In terms of us as players and coaches, we've got Munster over the hill coming our way, so we're preparing for that, and then after that Treviso, and then we'll get to South Africa, and I think that's going to be a really good experience for us as a group. But more importantly, we just need to keep improving as a team.
I was just going to ask about in terms of injuries, anyone picked up any knocks on the weekend?
The only one who picked up a knock who's come through and passed everything is Ollie Cracknell, who it was precautionary why he came off, but he's in good health, so there's no serious injuries, and we're looking to go hard this Saturday.
You got it strongly if you lost again, didn't you, Ollie?
He had a fantastic game, carries, tackles. It was on for like 65 minutes and still topped all those stats. But yeah, he's a great player, and he's only going to get better. He's a young man who's got a real appetite to learn the game, and I think he's going to be. As long as he keeps having that desire to improve, he's going to be there or thereabouts in the future.
Obviously, there's a couple of injuries in the national squad. Can you see him knocking on the door?
I think he should be. I think if he can keep performing the way he is and keep developing his game and his ball carrying game and his destructive ability in the tackle, I think there's no reason why he can't push on for international honours. But I think that's going to be, he's just got to focus on his bread and butter, which is day-to-day stuff, and if he focuses on that and gets that right, well then the selectors will surely look at him.